better. Cross your fingers, knock on wood, all that good stuff. In the top right corner of the map here for the Corsair Cup, it's going to be the pink Protoss player, Dead Pixels Patience.
In the bottom left as the red Zerg, it's Soulkey.
So I gotta say, that's also... So that was a good win for Soulkey. 1-0, it's a brand new map,
Sure.
It was Tempest Abuse, but he also played kind of standard, which is weird to say, considering we've been seeing Soulkey exclusively do weird things like Overlords and Banelings and whatnot.
Yeah. He was forced to play standard, though. He wasn't going to. He was going to go for, like, Banelings, like a Baneling Hydra bust or something. And then he saw the Tempest.
I'm still convinced that with the air distance, he was going to try and at least do some drops on that natural base.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like unfortunately, we didn't get to see what his plan was. But I really liked for both players, even though of course one lost, one won, that they not conformed, adapted to the new map. They didn't just kind of like flounder and like complain and be like, haha, the natural is so weird, or mess up the location of where they're taking their third, which Patience might have, but then he took the third, like, again, so I feel like that was on purpose.
We got a question in chat, by the way, asking about Corsair giveaways. So here's the deal, guys. We don't have any Corsair giveaways to do yet. They gave us one promotional one, and that was really testing whether they wanted to sponsor us or not. That was the headset a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, if you remember. Right now, we don't have anything cool and awesome to give away, but I will be requesting it over time. And basically, the more people tuning into their cups, the more people checking out their website from the links down below on the Twitch page, will be more incentive for them to give us cool stuff to give away. Obviously, if you guys buy stuff, that's the ultimate incentive for support. But other than that, we will at some point have some Corsair giveaways, but unfortunately, nothing today.
Well, we have a Stargate opener once again for Patience. I doubt this will lead to Tempest on this map, though. This Overlord might just be able to see it. There's nothing to kill it. Oh, I guess it expects some Mothership Core. I mean, it's not... Yeah, it's understandable that you would expect a Mothership Core, which could put to overcharge your Overlord, but it's not actually here.
I mean, there are a couple of builds that we've seen, though, right? Like when Seed does the faster Dark Shrine, or Patience doing the faster Stargate like this, where you actually don't have that Mothership Core. But for the most part, every build has a Mothership Core come out fairly quick. So, complacency's not so bad. He's going to come in here and he will see this, so it's not going to be that big of a deal.
He sees the fast third, too, though. Does he have anything to do about the fast third? Well, he'll have speed, so committing to 20-30 lings could potentially get a cancel. Probably could get a cancel, in fact, because there's really not a lot of production. But it looks like he's just going to be content droning. And if the Nexus does finish and pylons are placed around it, that should be a fairly easy defense. As the Militia Core is now out and ready to go. A Baneling nest again. Oh, Soulkey, why does he want to make Banelings work so much? Like. I realized that he was pretty good at them versus Terran, but versus Protoss, it's not like he was trying to use it versus Heart of the Swarm, and it's not like they changed. There's nothing different about a Baneling.
I think...
He just really wants to use them.
Well, no. So you say there's nothing changed about the Baneling, and I don't disagree. Like, in general, for the matchup, its effectiveness and drops or not, like... You've got the Overlords that can individually transform, so it's a little bit more cost-effective of an investment. You've got Adepts that don't deal bonus damage to the Banelings, but take bonus damage from them. I mean, it's not so crazy when you think about it. It's not a hardcore meta counter, but it is something where they're a little more effective and they've got a bit more use than they did before. I mean, all things considered, Adepts are basically Marines with more health that can't stim, so the Banelings can certainly get in there and take them out.
An interesting way to describe them. I still, it's still just the idea that he's trying to make them work when no one else is. So whether or not they actually are better because of Overlord drops and, people going Adepts instead of, Stalker and whatnot, it's just that he's trying to make this a thing, and it's so weird. He's usually not the thing maker, right?
Stop trying to make GIF a thing. It's never going to happen.
Basically. Well, unfortunately for Patience, who's going for charge lots, that will not help against Banelings.
One of the interesting things too is, I mean, he did Banelings I don't think at all with the intention to drop this game. A big part of this was that, he saw that Stargate early. He knew there might be a Phoenix or a Void Ray out or something, so it would have been really risky either way. But maybe Soulkey was like, damn, I saw that Legacy of the Void cinematic. And that Zealot died so hard to 3 Banelings. That would never happen.
Yeah.
Maybe they buffed them secretly.
Well, I guess
is gonna pop.
You can call this a Bane bust. They could explode on the pylons.
Yeah, depowers 2 of the gateways, stop some of the overcharges. Mothership, of course, pretty much out of juice after powering the other 2.
That's so weird. It wasn't really that much of a committal to gas. There weren't that many Banelings. There weren't that many Lings. So Soulkey can macro out of this. It wasn't an all-in. It was just a, like, dedicated harassment. I don't know. It's
there.
It's going to be going there. It's going to be going into lurkers in a 4th base, so a macro game. How odd.
Well, Patience said he wanted to practice today, and this would be like one of the better Zerg players to ever practice against, so hopefully he's getting his money's worth out of playing in the tournament. I mean, I'm not saying that this is going to be over, but if this is a situation where Soulkey is going to be on lurkers with, again, Baneling's asterisk next to them, but Patience is sitting here with a couple of oracles and really no disruptors, I can't see this going well for Patience.
Mm-hmm. He does need to get to the disruptor. I mean, he's getting a War Prism now, and I think soon he'll realize, okay, yeah, sees the lurker again. And you really do need disruptors to deal with lurkers. A concave just doesn't cut it. I've tried and failed doing that.
Yeah, you'd think with the line attack of the lurkers, the concave would be like one of the better ways to stop it, but it's just they hit so hard no matter what they hit.
After they get up to about 6, even like the best concave still takes like a tremendous amount of damage. So usually not worth it. And double robo? I thought he already had a robo. Okay, so triple robo.
Are you doing the restless leg thing?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, because I could hear it like tick 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 tick.
Really?
Yeah. Like I guess this isn't hitting your desk where your mic is or something.
Oh, maybe the cord is.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, get out. Or move your leg. One of the 2. Big Zealot warp in. Weird, because you expect this to be Adepts a lot of the time, but the Zealots charge in. Of course, charge has a little bit of damage added to it, so it's not so bad.
Oh, the drones get out of the fight, too. Why not? Still at 76, so no big deal. In fact, did any drones go down there? I'm not even sure.
If any, it wasn't many. These Zealots, of course, ended up focusing on the hatchery. Not quite going to get it. We did have another Baneling bus go off behind us, by the way. Sorry for the lack, but it's 3 robos to make up for it. The question mark.
He meant to go for 3 robos. I thought this was a mistake, but it's right next to the original robo, so it's got to be on purpose.
See, I thought he was like, okay, you know what? I'm a little behind on the Disruptor War, so I got to make up the numbers. And in that weird way, this kind of makes sense. But with gas being devoted to Storms, Immortals, and Archons, there's no way he's really affording that. And if he's really going to do 3 Immortals at a time, I guess technically Barrier can help versus the Lurkers, but they're still going to get shredded by the Lurkers the second the Barrier wears off.
Yeah. I was going to suggest maybe one of them was purely for making a Warp Prism. Make a Warp Prism die, make a Warp Prism die, make a Warp Prism die. But now it is 3 Immortals at a time. Storm can also be used to help out against Lurkers, but it's just so much harder to hit than a Disruptor.
Plus, you can actually unburrow and walk out of it. And even
yeah, that's true.
Even if you don't, the actual Storm damage is not that much in comparison to Disruptor Shot. It's meant for AoE, not for single target damage. So, Zealots over here get cleaned up. We got a Spire coming out, so I guess wants to take care of any potential Warp Prisms, but also that tech swap. A lot of times we just see some Zerg player pressure into Roach, Ravager, Lurker, and then boom, ET Mutas come out, and the Protoss unfortunately has 3 Robos, not 2 Stargates. Yeah, more Banelings try to walk in by the looks of it too, once again picked off.
Looks like Soulkey's trying to get up to Ultras. He's still upgrading the melee attacks and getting up to Hive. Patience is getting a Fleet Beacon and a 2nd Stargate, a 3rd Stargate, even. So he's prepared for both the Muta transition, possibly, as well as just transitioning into a bigger, better late game composition. Completely into air, if he can get away with it. It is so expensive, though, to get a ground army of this size and this gas count, and then try and go into air. It's already expensive enough trying to go into air, like, immediately.
So, I was looking around trying to figure out how he was getting these, like, because I kept looking for the Banelings to roll in on the map, and I keep forgetting, when you upgrade Transport Overlords, it doesn't show up on the production tab. So I've been like watching the production. I've been watching where the Banelings are. I'm like, how is he getting these in here? Where did? Oh, it's drops. Okay. Huge defensive line set up at home. 4 more Banelings coming to the natural base.
Well, Patience might be losing probes here and there, but his economy still looks pretty great. More probes go down. Still at 70.
These actually, thanks to that armor. No armor. I guess. Wait, how do they survive that with 1 health? What? Probes? Hello? They all should have died to 2 Banelings. I don't know. What else? Zerg even has a weapon upgrade.
Well, those might have been.
Like, that might have been the 1 Baneling
injured.
hitting, actually. No, because if it's the 1 weapon upgrade, they just barely don't kill them if they have. So it may have actually just been 1 Baneling popping off in several of those, not 2. Storm's gonna blanket some of the Hydras. Falling back once again. Where's some more Banelings coming in? I like this line of lurkers, really set up for defense. I mean, this is so expensive at a Soulkey, but because he hasn't lost any to Disruptors trading out, it's not bad at all. These are going to live forever. I don't know about the Tempest choice out of Patience. I like air attack, but I don't like Tempest. They will have the range, though, to perhaps force fights, which could be good.
Oh, dear. That's a lot of lurkers.
That is. It's a hell of a lot of lurkers.
Oh, they're all spread out, too. Like, Storm's not going to do anything. Oh, no. He really needs this Tempest just to have something to take out the lurkers. Oh, this is going terrible. Oh no.
Then he's trying to pop off.
Just getting almost kind of a surround here. Our lurkers advance forward.
This is really bad. The Storms aren't even taking out the Lings. If the Lings weren't here, maybe the Immortals could fight, but that's not the case, and the Immortals getting shipped off by everything. The Archons just get shredded. Oh my god, Patience's army disappears. He's got 100 supply, but it's in such a small amount of units.
Archon's desperately being morphed in here, but the Tempest has such a... Oh, it's a job it cannot do alone. 2 more Tempests arrive to try and start sniping these lurkers. The Observer is running with the army, though. Needs to be over the lurkers.
I really don't think that Tempests are a terrible choice, but going straight to them may have been. However, the Immortal Barriers are off of cooldown, or on cooldown, excuse me, so Lurks get some shots off, but the Immortals take everything out, and Soulkey... dedicates way too hard to that. He's trying to go to Hive Tech, right? So he's on Hive Tech, excuse me. He's trying to transition Ultra. So we have Chitinous Plating coming up next, but Immortals are going to tear through Ultralisk.
Right.
That's not going to be the answer. Adrenal Gland Lings will actually be way more effective.
This is a pretty perfect anti-Ultralisk army, but I think what Soulkey is trying to do is just get all of the upgrades for everything, get all the upgrades, and then adapt. So I'm honestly surprised I don't see a Great Spire. Because that would be the one thing that would have been pretty good against the low Tempest count. But even then, the Tempest count's still rising. So by the time he would get Brood Lords, it would be such a high Tempest count. Wouldn't be worth it either.
Oh, you know, I forgot this is pre on terraces. If Patience had a Warp Prism, or not, sorry, Dusk Towers. Thank you. I don't know why it's a brain going dumbass one. I was gonna say though, I forgot it's Dusk Towers because you could use the towers to actually siege up the base if you wanted to. I would love to see a Warp Prism come into play and just drop 2 Templar off. Storm, boom.
No.
I mean, it's not going to happen. He's very focused on the defense, and I don't blame him because what he has is pretty inefficient versus Lings.
Is that Soulkey's plan? Just to go for Ling Hydra?
I mean, he's got Adrenal Glands. His melee upgrades have been a priority. He might... I mean, you can't really consider Brood Lords when your opponent already has 6 or 7 Tempests.
Yeah. And still growing, too.
And Ultras are not going to work with this many Immortals in play, so Ling Hydra seems to be the only viable option that makes sense to me.
Soulkey is panicking maybe a little here. He's banking so much money, and the only thing I can think of is that he's waiting for Patience to attack, and then he's gonna go into like all muta.
Maybe. I mean, it is 36 larva he's got banked up, so it's... Yep, there we go. Nice call.
Yeah, but the problem is that... Well, Tempests, they don't do great against mutas. I mean, there's still a lot of Tempests, and they'll be able to hold on to the army combined with the Archons, and there are 3 Stargates, so protecting the Stargates until they get the Phoenix shouldn't be such a problem either. Basically, the mutas might do okay, but they're certainly not the like insta GG they can be in this matchup.
This is I'm thinking of Bly's mutas, of course, famous on Reddit, clumped up over Archons. Can be bad times, but I don't think that's going to happen here. Patience could potentially try and get some Phoenix out, but every time we see someone transition to Phoenix this late, they never seem to work.
I think Soulkey has the right idea by going for air, but I he might have been better off just trying to win a legitimate air war with Broodlord Corruptor. We'll see how the mutas work out combined with some Vipers. 4th or 5th base going down from Patience is rather important as, you know, he's starting to run out of minerals in his other bases.
Yeah, this is, I mean, he's on his last life, and he's got an army that can fight, but, you know, Soulkey's never going to take a big A-move engagement. He's going to keep trying to pick away, you know, reinforcements here, abducts over there. Archon, please. Oh, man.
One shot. It's going to turn to a base trade, and I don't know if Patience could win this one. Phoenix count is growing, but not that quickly.
You know, the thing about a base trade, though, is the Immortals are going to kill us so much faster than those mutas will.
Faster?
I guess it's more bases, they're more spread out, but Patience, knowing this, spreads his Immortals out. He's going to try and make this efficient. However, in doing so, makes himself susceptible to the ground. There's those links we talked about.
Yeah, I don't think he can do it. The ground army is going to be too strong. Sure, taking out all of the mining bases from Soulkey is important, because he really is, but yeah, it's
just pick off the 3rd and turn around, or 4th and turn around, so... Good series out of Patience, but Soulkey will not be knocked out by the brackets, or of the brackets by Patience today. That was yesterday, and exclusively yesterday by the looks of it. This does mean that Soulkey